In today's webinar, we'll be discussing digital transformation, and we'll be discussing how it's been embraced throughout the business and financial landscape to help streamline processes, increase productivity, and of course, drive business growth.
The big numbers for me were 99% of everyone that responded said that interoperability was a very big thing for them. Now that's very different to the situation of even 5 years ago. Probably what's happened is that the lockdown has accelerated things that were already starting to happen anyway. I think the other aspect to this was just how many people have recognised that the human contact is important. That surprised us as well, because there's a lot of companies out there that are to some extent hiding behind the pandemic, and they're using it as an excuse for, say, poor customer service. But our customers, these respondents, were all telling us that what mattered to them was having some sort of human interaction, which we've always believed was really important.
I think the finance departments have been really affected. And I agree with Simon, actually, that probably some of the change we've seen over the last couple of years has been an acceleration of what probably would have happened anyway. In finance teams nowadays, when you've got the technology right, you have so many opportunities to actually delve into, data, analytics, the forecasting, things can be taken as far as you want to. And I think it's a really exciting world to be in. Those who choose not to take on digital transformation and still work on Excel spreadsheets. And we all love Excel spreadsheets, and there's loads you can do with Excel spreadsheets, but there's so much more that you can do with other technologies. And certainly the up and coming, stars of finance coming through, they want to work with data, they want to add value, they want to feel like they do worthwhile work.
I think the world's moved on. It's not really about functionality anymore, because all the systems can do things. It's more about usability.
It's about, giving users access to the data so that they can go and mine the data themselves. I call it democratization of data. How does the finance data, for instance, integrate with other systems? How do we get to that single source of truth?
Pace of implementation is really important, because in any implementation, you always see what I always call the happiness dip, where people are really excited as they come into the process, and then they realize just how much is involved, and you get this big happiness dip where they wonder about how they're going to achieve this. They then come out the other side with all this extra information that's helping them run their business, and then it's all wonderful again.
Whichever system I've been involved with implementing, the same challenges are always true. Cultural match is really important with the teams, the people who are going to come in and work with your people. If you're going to have a system integrator, again, these people need to work together in a team. Putting in new technology will not solve issues that you have in relation to rubbish data or rubbish processes. The engagement of people becomes really key, not just in finance around working with the system, but actually across the whole organisation, to understand that, everybody has a handoff between different processes, and actually as much as you can do to actually look at the underlying process and the data and then put the technology over, for me, that's the only way to success. And unfortunately, there's no fast track way of getting around that.
I think what's more important is to have agility built in, so that people are used to changing the way that they do things to make best use of what's there.
Because people just in their mind think that bespoke is good. It makes us special. Nobody understands our business the way that we understand it. But the reality is that the more bespoke the system is, the less agile you can be, and the harder it is to make the amends and the changes.
For me, the systems, it's the data quality and how that aids decision making that I think makes the big difference.
If we've got all of the systems working and interacting and the data's where it needs to be, I would almost take it as a hygiene factor that your numbers are correct. You can build efficiencies into processes. And I take that as read that when you invest in a new system, as long as you've got the data and the processes in place, that all works. Being able to give people the right data and for them to be able to make decisions from that at the pace you need them to, I think is really, really important.
This is where our systems can really help, is to actually open up the organisation and take down some of these silos where you can bring the data together so that we can all see what the data is, and being able to pull data in a way that really helps those data-driven decisions. And this is where I think this is the big opportunity for finance.